Oh yes, hello, I am in my pajamas and you can't do anything to stop me. I'm sitting in front of our bookshelves, which are amazing by the way. They look fantastic. Don't you dare say anything, they look absolutely stunning. I am having not a good time reading right now. I'm in a bit of a slump. I've been in a really heavy slump during the last semester or two, but now is the time where I could do actual reading. I've decided that I'm gonna read all of the books that we own that I have not read yet, save for the books that Alex brought that might be more like children's books, which I am also gonna read eventually, but I don't really need or want to read right now. So I'm just gonna go through all of these bookshelves and find out which books I need to read, and then I'm gonna form a giant pile of books. I don't really know how many it is. Right now I'm hoping that I'm gonna be done at the end of the year. I don't think that's gonna happen. As long as I haven't read these, I am not buying any more books. Cross my heart. I will probably buy more books. Okay, so I've gone through exactly one shelf so far, and the results might surprise you. 3 books from the Maze Runner series. I've been stuck somewhere in the middle of the second book for ages now, and that's just infuriating to me, so I am gonna read all of these as soon as possible. 2 more numbers books. I've only read the first one and I've been meaning to read the other ones. These are in German, but I think I'm gonna be able to deal with that, and I'm just gonna read these. I don't need to buy the English ones if we already have perfectly valid German copies, because I don't think it's gonna be like my favorite book. So I'm just gonna read these and I'm gonna stop thinking about buying the English ones, for fuck's sake. And then these 3 I stole from my mum, I think 2 years ago. She called me out on it a year ago when I first moved. I still haven't read these. Here are a lot of Terry Pratchett books. I think I've read some of these, but I couldn't even remember the titles of the ones I've read, so I'm reading all of these. This shelf, I actually haven't made it through yet. You can see one of my favorite bookmarks from where I left off in frustration, so I will read this now. Torture is here. This one I got like half a year ago. Didn't even pay for it, so maybe just read it, you know? This one I only bought last week, so we're good. I'm slowly catching up on all the Ishiguro that I haven't read yet, because he's amazing. I love him. He could take my soul and I would say thank you, because it would be very safe kept there. We went to a clearance sale recently and they had the sign that says like 10 cents per thing, and we were like, that can't possibly be for the books, like there are laws against that. Also, who would do that? Like, why? And then we asked and they were like, yeah sure, it's also for the books. So we bought 8 books and also 2 Halloween decorations. We spent $1 there. Obviously those aren't like, you know, best-selling books, but like even the covers are worth more than 10 cents. This one actually looks really interesting, so I am excited to jump into that. This one I think was also from the clearance sale. Maybe it's not, maybe it's a book that's very dear to Alex or something. In that case I'm very sorry. This book I stole from my father a year ago. I seem to be noticing a trend here. This one we bought last week. I think Alex said it's supposed to be good, so it's supposed to be good. And these 2 are Alex's, but I'm gonna be including them because I've been meaning to get around to more Rubicon anyway, and this looks interesting enough. Okay, I've officially pulled out all the books now, and let me tell you, it's about double what I've already shown you, so let's just jump into that, shall we? Must be Alex's. It looks interesting enough, so I'm looking forward to reading that. This is more Rubicon. I have already read this, I'm pretty sure, but I don't own it. So this is Alex's copy, so I am gonna just read again to make sure I've read all of them. Here are a lot more books. I saw this and I had to think of another book which I've really enjoyed, and I do think like seeing them next to each other, the art is kind of similar. Might be the same illustrator, I don't know. I had forgotten who the author was of this completely, and I was like, this looks similar and the plot feels right down that alley as well, so it might be the same author, and I got really excited and I bought it, and then afterwards I looked and no, it's not the same author, but it might still be a fun book, and it looks so cool, honestly, not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm feeling a bit iffy about it because it looks a lot like Dia de los Muertos, but it doesn't say anything about ethnicity on the back, so I really hope that it's not just copying over Dia de los Muertos to a white person. That would suck and I would not enjoy that, so please don't do it. Thank you so much for not doing it. Another book from the clearance sale. This one looks really interesting as well. It kind of reminded me of, what's that movie called? Give me a second. Hey, do you remember that movie? It's about this Magician's Apprentice. That's the movie. Thanks. It reminds me of Magician's Apprentice, like just the way the art and also the slight pretentiousness of the whole scene. But yeah, it looks cool, and it looks like one of those, oh, I'm having a kind of wee day, so I'm staying in bed reading kind of books, so I might read this later today actually. That's a good idea. The best thought I've had so far today, which is not hard. This is Alex's as well. I've been meaning to read that for a long time. Here we go. This, obviously, I have read somewhere, but I, again, don't have a copy, and I'm pretty sure I didn't read it in the original English. Another one of the clearance sale books. This one, I think, was the last one we picked, and I'm not 100% sold on it. We'll see. Another book from the clearance sale. This one looks kind of iffy. Really like the whole Victorian theme going on. I hope that the cover art was a mistake. This, I think, is Alex's, and this as well. This one sounds kind of interesting. This one, obviously, I've been meaning to read for a long time. This, I'm so angry about this. I bought this and I remember being really excited about it. Like, honestly really excited, because it's one of those books that are like about books. And that's the best kind of book. I love those books. Ever since I read Inkheart at the tender age of like 6, I have been in love with that trope. There's so many books that I've read that deal with that kind of trope, and it's also up and coming, I think. Oh, it was up and coming like 2 years ago. And that's good, because that means there's a lot of books about it. But also, there's a lot of bad books about it. And I'm not saying that this is a bad book. Honestly, I just didn't get far enough. I started reading this during an all-nighter, and it's okay. I read this and then I went to sleep. And then I woke up and I was like, lose me with that book. Alex Godmother got them that, and it looks really interesting, and it's a series, so maybe it's good. If it is, we'll probably buy the other books in English, not in German. It's very cool, and it has kind of like trans themes. Wouldn't say that it is trans, but whenever you have these like body snatcher stories, there is just this aspect of trans that's in there. And I really like that, because I, as a trans person, can just really like, that's me. That looked insanely creepy, and I'm so sorry for that. This is also from the clearance sale, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm insanely upset because I looked at the cover and I thought this was 2 girls. And I was like, oh, is this gonna be like Jennifer's Body? Are we gonna get like 5 minutes of representation and then never talk about it again? Because I'm up for that. I've been hurt too many times. But then, apparently, and I don't know how, but one of these people is a guy. I'm sorry, like, I'm all for not following traditional gender roles, but if you put something that looks like 2 femme people on your cover and then only mention pronouns on the back cover once, it's like you want people to think this is 2 girls. So yeah, you did that. Congratulations. This is Alex's. It does look like a children's book, like Twilight. Cover art looks really charming. And I specifically was like, okay, I'm gonna include this even though I said no children's book, because it looks cool. This, I think, is also middle grade. Oh yeah, this reads very charming. This is a detective story. This we also bought at the bookstore because apparently it's good, and it's also a series. This one, I hope it's not very trashy. These books have broken me. And lastly, this is a book that I ordered off Amazon earlier. I was checking out a lot of like feminism and queer feminism books on Amazon, and for some reason this kept popping up in like the recommended bar. It's lesbian poetry, and it's also volume 3, which I was not aware of at the time. So this is all the books. I'm gonna get started on the first one soonish. There's also 2 books that someone lent me, which I need to finish before the semester starts, so I might juggle those in there. It's a lot of books. More than I expected in my keenest nightmares. I'm gonna make a list, and then I'm gonna put these back where they belong, because I honestly feel like I just took out half of the shelves. See you all later, and I will slowly die now. Have a good day. For fuck's sake!
Was that me? I'm sorry. I'm editing.
I'm gonna leave that in now. See what you've done to yourself. So I will.
Interruptions!
Fuck you!